don't mean, when I say wealth, I don't mean being rich. Everybody hears the word wealth. Wealth just means having money. All of you work. All of you have had a job if you don't. And, if we don't maintain what we gain and we don't know how to pass it down the right way, it will go to someone else's hands. So that's the lessons you're going to learn today on how you can do that. And we have 5 ways in which we do that. Before I get started, I'm going to start sharing my screen and I'm going to introduce and tell you a little bit about myself and my past. Just make sure you guys can see my screen. Can you see my screen? I just need one yes,
Yes.
and I'm good to go. Beautiful, thank you. So let me just reset this real quick. And this is our celebration to 100K. And when I say 100K, every dollar saved that is a dollar earned for the people that we help. We saved over 100,000 families in a short month of February. Let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm a former educator. I was in the education business for, I would say 17 years in total. When I say business, education is a business. I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but I was able to see behind the curtains and how grants and money is made for schools. So that's why I call it a business. I was a teacher, and then I became a principal in New Jersey. That's where I was pretty much raised. I was born in New York, and now I reside in Orlando. Through my journey, I saw something going on with teachers. Teachers would start out living a certain type of way. You're 20, you're in your 20s. I was 22 when I started teaching, and you're given a pretty decent. At that time, it was 40,000 a year, and if you don't have a family, 40,000 goes a long way as a single person. But one thing I noticed is that teachers, as they matured in their journey, they were first upsizing because they were getting more money every year, and then they started downsizing their retirement. That scared me because the downsizing that they were doing was tremendous. And on my journey, I was introduced to this business, and I realized something when I started getting into this business, that my 2 masters and 3 bachelors that I have, I didn't learn one essential thing, which is how to maintain the money I have and not give most of it to Uncle Sam. So it was an awakening for me seeing teachers downgrade and move 2 hours away to drive to work every morning because they had to get ready for retirement. They had to change their lifestyle, uproot their whole family. Granted, some of the kids went to college, but still, they had to downsize even with that. So I got into financial services because I went to a meeting similar to where you guys are sitting in today, and I realized that the information given, I can help myself. And while helping myself, I realized I had a eureka moment, as you would. And I realized that I can still teach people about something that no matter how much you pay for a degree, you just don't learn. And that's basic things. I mean, I didn't even know how to balance a checkbook. I know we don't do that anymore, guys. I get that. But they don't teach that in school. I mean, they don't even teach how to write cursive anymore. I really feel like a dinosaur. So, what are the schools teaching us that we can take into the real world is what you got to ask. And one of the main things you got to learn is how to use money as a tool. So, with that being said, this became something that it became a passion of mine. So, today, what I'm going to give you is the 5 ways in which you can gain, maintain, and transfer your wealth. Okay. And we're going to do that with a presentation that's put together thinking about outside the box. If you think about a box traps you in, sort of like the movie The Matrix. So we're all in this box and we all think the same way because this is what's taught to us. Get a job, work for 40 years, retire with a pension or 401k, and you should be good. Well, times have changed since that really was the statement and the way to live. And what I'm going to do today is give you some strategies in which you can see that things have changed. First of all, let me introduce you to my mean man. I don't know him, but we've all heard
He
of
once
him.
said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. The lesson from his quote is to build income streams that make money regardless of whether you work that day or not.
If you notice, times have changed where just getting a job is enough. Now you got to create income streams, how to make money um, without always just working for money, but having money work for you. One of the things that we're used to is, like I said, thinking inside the box. But think about a business. This is the first way. So those of you that are taking notes, you're writing option one. This is one of the options. Imagine being in a career where you can have all these things, a substantial income and a remarkable flexible with your time as while you're working, even remotely. You can work from home. That has become a major thing after COVID, not having to go out, but being able to work from home. It was an adjustment for myself, but now it's almost common. Most people are looking for a remote job. Well, we actually offer a side career, if you would. It could be a permanent career, a transitional career, or something as what they call now a side gig, something you're doing to make some extra income, an opportunity to help others with their financial concepts. And we're going to go over some very brief financial concepts. We go over potential 6 to 7 figure incomes. Do you realize that only 1% of people make 6-figure incomes? It's not likely that if you work in Walmart, Target, man, there's so many jobs that you can say that people, even McDonald's, believe it or not, in the management sector of McDonald's, in the management program, you can get up to 6 figures. But what is 6 figures once Uncle Sam hits you with the taxes? One of the things we're going to teach you here is about taxes. But not only that, imagine a side job that can give you 6 figures. That is what we have here. A lot of times you'll hear in financial services, look it up on Google if you like, 6 figures seems to be the minimum wage. Imagine that. It's time to start thinking a little bit outside the box. What are your options? Well, here you go. I'm going to give you some options just to paint some pictures. If you're looking for a side gig, you don't have to quit your job, like I said, but if you're thinking about what you can do, let's look inside the box. You got some traditional corporate type jobs, like being a chef. It takes you 2 years to learn those techniques, right? Just starters. Chemical engineer, 4 years. A surgeon, 8 years. Starting your own business, you need to be at time. It has to be a good time, and you got to have time and money. I'm talking about starting your own business. If you're thinking about something unique, even franchising, you need 100,000 plus in liquid cash to start a franchise. That's the typical inside the box thinking that people start to think is creative. What about outside the box? Here at Dynasty Legacy Group, and what we actually represent also with Experior, is we have low startup cost, very low, very low. I'm talking about minute. You spend more money on gas than you would on starting costs here. You don't have to quit your current job. You don't need any experience whatsoever. I mean, we have people that used to drive trucks. We got people like myself that are educators. We've had doctors. We have people that are forklift operators that are making way over 6 figures right now just doing this business, receiving the education and passing it forward. This business is proven turnkey system. It's like, when you buy a new built house and it's turnkey, you don't have to fix the roof and get a boiler and all this stuff. This is what we have, is a turnkey system and business. And it comes with one thing that most businesses do not come with: a mentor. Automatically you have a mentor, and then you get to select other mentors. And guess what? It comes at no cost as part of the business plans. You have a huge market potential, because what we do, as I show you throughout the rest of the slides, everybody, including yourself, need. We all need what I'm going to talk about. All right. So you make money while helping others, work from anywhere. In the last maybe 4 months, I've done nothing but travel, but most people would think that while I'm traveling, I'm not working. I actually work on my way wherever I'm at. We have a virtual office. I connect with people. My assistant is all the way in the Philippines, and she's in the office. All the agents that are on this line are all from different walks of life. We have New Jersey, Texas. I'm here in Florida. We have Mississippi. We're everywhere, but yet it feels like we're right next to each other because of the fact that we have a virtual office. So you can work from anywhere just plugging in. All right. And the possibility of leveraging your time and income. How many of you cannot make it to your kids' football game, baseball games, their plays at school? And guess what? Your number one excuse is, I got to go to work. I know my son was in Papawana. I mean, the only thing that I could do is Sundays. It was so hard to go to practice, and Sundays I was beat. I was beat because I was working 3 or 4 jobs at one time, and I was beat. I was there like a zombie. Once I was able to transition, though, even to this day, if my son calls me and he needs me, I'm a plane away. I can go wherever I have to go and still put in the time and facilitate and actually get my hands dirty as well in what I do with helping people with their finances and changing their life. But I don't miss those moments. Remember, just because you get the recording or you get the pictures, don't mean that you're gonna live in that moment. You're able to keep living in the moment while helping others at the same time. That is an amazing way for me, at least in my opinion, of thinking of what a career should be. See, in the way I see it, we shouldn't work for money. Money should work for us. Money's just a tool. So that's one of the things that we're able to provide here. Here's 3 ways that we can help while building your business. One of the things we do is where we help you against downturns of the market. Do you know one of the things that people are looking at the news? First of all, I stopped watching the news. Unfortunately, I get this fed through Facebook, Instagram, and anything else because we're just plugged into these things, and I use it for work as well. But I hear about it. Everybody's worried about the stock market. You know, one thing I could tell you about people that we help, the stock market doesn't affect them. We don't worry about whether it's going down or up. Why? Because there's certain plans that we have that protect us from downfall, from the slide. We're always either straight on the narrow or we're going up. That's one of the things we're able to help you with. Another thing we're able to help with is tax advantage retirement income. Actually retiring. You know, one of the things that one of my mentors says that he can't stand is when he goes to Walmart and he sees someone in the 70s and 76 or older and they're working. And the reason he gets mad about that, which I started to understand him after him saying the same story over and over and over again and then seeing it myself, is that he feels that we didn't get to him on time. We didn't get to that person on time. People that are in our services, because the stuff that we teach is usually maintained by people that have money, by the rich, the wealthy. They have this education. So you won't see somebody that makes 7 figures ever having to go to work. Why? Because they know the tools, and these are the tools we possess here that we're now passing to everybody, because everybody deserves to be able to retire. So we're giving you tax advantage retirement incomes. We're sure you have the latest products, and your family is properly protected. This is the part of transferring wealth. So we make sure your family is properly protected and possibly extend your retirement income to last even longer. One of the major problems in the United States right now is that people are outliving their money. So you have a 401k, yay, I got $1 million. Uncle Sam takes about 35%. Your state takes another 15. That cuts it down. Great. Now you got to downsize, go into senior living because you can't afford the house you had anymore, right? So now you're able to do that, but now medicine exists, right? We have new medicine. People are living with HIV, cancer. They're living through these things that normally took people out. So guess what? They're living longer. What happens? At some point, the bank account reads 0.00. Now, what does this person do? You know what you see nowadays? It used to be where the parents take in kids and help out the kids. And now, once the kid is working, now the parents move in with the kid and the kid is taking care of the parents. It's a cycle that's becoming that way because there's no other way to live. Where's the money going to come from? So now us as kids get a house, make sure we have an extra room to move in our parent or parents because they outlive their money. And that's more and more every day. So let's talk about the marketplace. So let me ask you, ooh, I love that. Would any of you nowadays take a horse and carriage to get from one state to another? Absolutely not. You know what you're doing? You're doing that exact thing with your finances. You're still doing the one thing that was taught back in the day, pensions and 401ks. We're forgetting about all the other vehicles. So one of the things we do is we make sure that you're not in this trap Yes, it's a good vehicle, but it should only be one of the four legs that you have on your stool. We're going to teach you how to either maneuver it and move it, as you see later in the presentation, how you can do that. But one of the things I want to make sure that I drive home is that you no longer have to go from one state to another in a horse and carriage. We can move things up and change it up. We can now move from one state to another in a nice, nice car. I like this one. Yeah, yeah. So we can move in a car, plane. There's other ways to travel. And that's one of the things we teach you. Ooh, really great. And I like that sound. So one of the things we teach here is how to move things, get outside the box. If you look here, again, it's a nice painted picture, black box. You have red lines trapped inside. There's no outside thinking. So if you put all your money in this one place, you are subjected to the market loss. There's no other way to think about it. This is what I hope you guys understand. If you have a 401k, you need to look at your statements. There's one thing I'll guarantee you, at some point throughout the life of that 401k, you will see a negative sign. That means you're losing money. That's why they tell you got to keep putting in money. Some people say, "Oh, I don't put money in my 401k. I put enough money and I leave it there and it's just growing." Yeah, until it's gone. You have to think of that as a bucket with a little hole in it. And the reason it gains money is because you're adding fuel to that gas. If you don't add fuel to that gas, it's all going to come out eventually. You're going to find yourself in a very bad situation. And I hope you're not waiting for Uncle Sam to come to the rescue, because they're looking at ways to cut out all these programs, including Social Security, as it is. It's already been signed that by 2030, there will not be Social Security. I'm not saying they won't replace it with some sort of stipend, but as far as it being called Social Security, it's gone. I don't know if you guys know what Social Security was created for, or 401ks. Let me take a swig and I'll explain. A 401k was created during the times of war, World War II, the Great Depression. It was created for the government to bring back money because they were losing so much money due to the war. So what they did is said, we're going to create a plan that it's going to be a win-win. So we're going to let people put money and grow their money in the market without taking taxes until the harvest is grown. So they don't tax the seed. They don't want the seed to be taxed. They want the money to grow healthy. And then they want to take half of your corn. They don't want to take the little seed. They want to take half of your corn, the whole harvest. They want half of that because that's going to help replenish the economy. So it was a win-win. Not anymore. Inflation has came into play. The dollar is not worth what it used to be. So now when they do that, it actually hurts us. So we have a new approach. We have new products that are tax advantage. They use indexing to protect your money during those times that the market is going down. This means zero risk. I know that not many of you have ever heard of anything that has no risk when it comes to money. Well, guess what? There are plans out there that you do have to qualify for, but most people can. And that's what one of the agents on this line can help you disqualify. When you sit down, because all of you will receive a free EFA, which I'll explain what that is later. By sitting here today, you will receive your free EFA and they will be able to tell you what you can do and how you can qualify to get a tax advantage or tax-free type of retirement. So let's look at an example with dollar signs of inside the box, being trapped between the lines, and outside the box. So if you look inside the box, you have somebody that's making $409,000. Let's just average everything out. They get an income of about $70,000. Now, when you tax it at a generous 25%, you get taxed, they're losing about $17,000. Not bad. That comes down to $52,000 a year of net income. In 13 years, now I'm talking about this person, just so you understand, this person, the examples of two 35-year-olds. So we're starting at 35. Most people at the beginning of their life, they don't know what they want to do. It takes about till age 35 to be like, I'm done. If I'm stuck at McDonald's at 35, I want to just get to management. That's what I'm doing. It's just you're just there. So about 35 years of age, this is what they're making. Not a great salary, not a bad one. But after 13 years of work, at the age of 78, this person's money will run out. A total income of over $500,000. It will run out because they have paid in total $144,000. Total taxes saved, 36,000. That's the kind of plan. That's the qualified plan. If you don't know what that is a 401k, ladies and gentlemen, at its fullest extent right there. Now let's think about the approach we have outside the box through Alert Plan, also known as an IUL. Same income, you got 52,000. Guess what? Zero in taxes, 52,000. But here's the difference. And I'll tell you why these numbers are so different. Because in a 401k, you're subject to ups and downs. And what we have as Alert Plan, you only go up. You only take advantage of the upside, never the downside. So you never lose money. And on top of that, you're feeding it. So while you're putting fuel into the gas, it's growing and also growing on interest. So it's compounding. You're making money twice, not being taxed twice. It's a major difference. So here, if that client dies at 100, she would have received $52,000 for the next 35 years, giving her a plan that totaled over $1.8 million. And guess what? They still leave their family over $500,000. The transfer of wealth, the money that you have worked hard for, not only are you going to have it, now you're going to maintain it and you're going to be able to transfer it to the next generation. What I would do right now if my dad, when he passed away, would have left me $10. Instead, he left me a bill of $20,000. I had to figure out how I was going to bury him. Not only did he not know how to get a plan like this, but he didn't even have life insurance. I was his life insurance plan. My brother died at 43. He was in hospice they gave him a year to live. He died in 6 months. Guess what? Another bill I received. I was their life insurance plan. I said, oh, absolutely not. This is not happening with my mom. My mom got 2 life insurance plans because it cost me less to pay that than to pay a big bill. Remember, here's the difference between some people say, well, I don't believe in life insurance. This is not part of the slideshow, but I want to give you a reference. Life insurance allows you to pay for a funeral if you use final expense, which we will get to. It helps you to put your funeral on layaway. When someone dies, you don't need the money now. You needed it right now, if not yesterday, because every day you wait, you're going to be billed for refrigeration. So think about that. Even at the simplest form, even though the fact that you have a life insurance plan, it's less to bury you, I'm just giving you its simplest form so you could put that in your head. It's layaway versus now. I don't know too many people that have $20,000 to $30,000 in their bank account for that. I'm just saying. I digress. Let me get back to it. So let's look at get hurt. How many of you could afford to get hurt right now and be out of work for 3 to 4 weeks? Your sick days run out. How many of you have something to protect you against that? How many of you can survive being out of work because God forbid you end up with skin cancer? I'm using skin cancer because it's one of the light ones. But we all know the C word is running rampant. Back in the day, you couldn't know one person. You had to hear about in the news about somebody famous that had cancer. Hear the statistics. Look it up. 1 out of every 4 people you know is either going to have or is going through cancer right now. Right now. I know someone one of our associates, his wife was diagnosed with cancer while we were in the middle of a presentation in her 30s. You know what he said? I'm so glad we got one of those plans. He knows they're going to beat it. He's a God-fearing man. We all pray for him. But he wasn't concerned about the maintenance of his children, his house. what they built, because he knew that his plan was going to at least financially keep them stable. And since he's in our business, he's able to go to every appointment, not skip a beat, and be there for his wife. If you don't think that's amazing, I don't know what to tell you. We must be in two different worlds. And in your old plans, you don't have something like this. If you become terminal, well, I hope that everything is set. You got everything in alignment. The only thing you have in old school, inside the box thinking is a death benefit. In order to receive these funds, you must die. That means you must die for your families to eat. During the process, oh well. Well, one of the things we have allows you to, not that you would want to, but let's just face it, it is the real world. We get sick. Some get sicker than others. If you get critically ill, you can maintain your lifestyle while you're sick. If you become terminal, you can take care of things before you go. And if you pass away, there's a death benefit. I know it seems dark, but it's the truth. Sometimes we got to be hit with the truth to realize what we're doing. So let's talk about alert plan versus some retirement accounts that we know about. So let's talk about the 5 homes there is for money. We got 401ks, 403bs. You could also put 457s there. They're all the same. Then you got, as I hear down here in the South now, IRAs. When I was in Jersey, it was just IRAs. Down here in Florida, they're IRAs. You got your family of traditional IRAs. Then you got your Roths. Yeah, they let you grow, but they only let you put but so much in. Uncle Sam says you can grow tax-free, receive your money tax-free, but I'm not gonna let you become rich off of this. Then you got annuities, and then you got our alert plan. Now, what else do you have with this? What are we looking for when we're putting our money away? I don't know about you, but I'm looking for growth. Safety. I don't want nobody kidnapping my Benjamins. No, don't kidnap my Benjamin. I might allow them to kidnap my son, but not my Benjamins. No, I'm joking. He might hear this recording. You got tax-free growth. You want liquidity. That means you want to be able to touch your money, not be locked up and them telling you your money is under arrest until you are 59 and a half. You want lifetime income. Lifetime income. You want to receive money till you die, not lose money and then you're still alive and you can't do anything. You got to go back to welcome to Walmart. And you want some type of benefits, something that's going to maintain your life. God forbid you end up sick. So let's see which one of these plans can give you all that. Well, we got growth. We got, just so you know, that X means that there's some loss. So there is growth, but there is loss. So IRAs, 401ks, and Roths, because it's still a 401k and it's still subject to the market. Annuities, oh no, cannot be affected by the loss. Neither can your alert plan. It's protected. Only growth here. Now, as far as safety, well, annuities and alert plan. The rest, there's not too much safety. Benjamins can get kidnapped. Let's talk about tax-free growth. Only 2 here, because it's not tax-free growth, because in IRAs and all this other stuff, you got fees and taxes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know if they told you in your 401k, somebody's being paid to maintain it. There is a fee. It is not free. Liquidity, can you touch your money? None of those plans let you touch money. Why? Because if you do it, it will be a penalty. Not in your alert plan. Lifetime income. Oh, only 2 wins here. Now, when you come to your benefits, all of these, the only one that gives you all green lights would be alert plan. Either way, you get to pick your poison. That's the only thing that you have going for yourself, is that you have the power of choice. It's like, I don't know if you guys see, I'm a movie guy. There's a quote. I know it's not a great movie. Some of you probably never seen it. But at the end of Devil's Advocate, he says, vanity. You know, is his favorite sin. Why? Because it's the only one, to him, you chose that. The only thing we have is free will. Well, right here, you have that when it comes to your finances as well. Let's start with the second way we can help you. And I gave you 2 in the first one, but let's go through them. First one, This is another way. Final expenses. One of those things that nobody thinks about. Money that's meant to go in the ground. Well, who needs final expense? Seniors that are 50. Yeah, I know, 50 years old to be considered a senior. Oh my God, I'm already there. Oh, Jesus. Well, seniors, 50 to 85, looking for an affordable life insurance, final expense is your answer. This is money that's meant to go in the ground. Individuals with limited savings. First of all, I don't know too many people that even have a savings account anymore, but individuals that have limited savings and do not have life insurance, here's another, these are people that would need final expense. People with health conditions. Why? Because they are very flexible regarding your health. They're still willing to give you insurance to protect your family from that day. They protect final expenses. Let me explain to you. What it helps is that it keeps you from having to cry twice. When someone dies, you cry twice. The first set of tears is, oh my God, I miss my uncle. And the second one is, oh my God, how much am I going to have to give to pay for this? They save you from one of those series of tears. Other people that we're able to help with final expense, families who want peace of mind. There's nothing better than going to sleep and knowing that if, God forbid, the grandfather upstairs pulls you up and says, I need you, your time here is done, your family doesn't have to go through the suffering of how we're going to put this person in the ground. Then we have term insurance. Here's another way we help. So first, we can educate you, train you, and teach you, and you could be part of the business. We already taught you how we can do that also through our alert plan. That's 2. We got final expenses. Now we have term. What is term used for? Well, any of you own a home? If you have a $300,000 loan and you die and you're married, if you're not married and you have children, if they want to keep their way of living, keep that same roof over their head, that's what you need mortgage protection. It is pennies on the dollar. First of all, for insurance, is all about age and health. The younger you are, the cheaper it is. I know people that have $500,000, $1 million life insurance policies that are term, and they're paying like $17 a month. That means if they die, they're giving their loved ones $1 million and saying, take care of life. What's another reason you need this? Income protection. Your family is used to living a certain type of way. So for the next 30 years before you retire, you're making a certain amount of money. You don't have to own a house for income protection. If you're making $100,000 and God forbid you pass away, they're used to living a certain type of way. You want to keep their lifestyle intact, not having to make them downsize and figure things out. Well, you can insure $100,000 for 30 years in in a term policy. And on top of that, you can do that with benefits, living benefits. Let me talk to you about who can benefit from this. If you have a small business, you can benefit from term insurance. People who are looking to protect their mortgage, as I said, people who are looking to protect their debt. Yeah, you want to protect certain debt. What kind of debt? Mortgage debt. Anything that you own like that needs to be paid for when you're gone, that's your money that's being used to pay for it. Parents with minor children. Well, my son's 21 now, so I'm not too concerned. But before that, if I died, somebody's got to pay for his college tuition if I'm not here. Can't leave it to his mother by herself. College is expensive now. Very expensive. And believe me, my son is not the military type of guy. Oh, no. So I don't know too many choices. Who's going to take in a child and say, I'll pay for everything? Well, this is one of the things term insurance can help. People who are looking to replace their income, all that can be solved with pennies on the dollar. Here's some different types. If you're on a phone, if you're on a computer, guys, please take a screenshot. There's different types of term. And you know what? The agents out there that you go to, like State Farm or Allstate or any of these insurance, first of all, that's only made for car insurance. They're not experts in this field, so they can't even offer what any of the agents here can offer on pennies on the dollars. There is level term insurance. That's just flat out term. I die, you pay. There's decreasing term that's made for the death benefit to get smaller, because if you have a mortgage, guess what? Your mortgage is less and less every year you pay it, how much you owe on it. So this might be a perfect vehicle for you, because as you owe less, you need less, because you got a decreasing term just to protect your mortgage. You got renewable term. There's a reason and a place for that. Okay. You got convertible term. What is a convertible? Same thing a convertible car is. It changes, has a roof, take the roof off. So you can go from term to whole life. You got return of premium term, one of my favorites, because most people will outlive their term. If you don't, I'm sorry, that I guess it's great that you're insured, but you will outlive your term. The most you can get a term for is 30 years. 30 years. Most people will outlive their term. So what happens after those 30 years? Well, term insurance is like renting insurance. After those 30 years, it has no value. You outlived it. Thank you, come again. I mean, you don't get no money back, but with a term ROP, you get all your premiums back. So you spent all this money protecting. Now you get it back and you could reinvest that money, because guess what? You didn't die. So your mortgage is safe. Everything that you got that term policy, it's good. So now you got the money. Now you can use that lump sum to do something else and reinvest it. Make that money go to work for you. And then there's group term. That's usually for businesses or people that own a business and have their employees. Here's some of the benefits when you get term with benefits. Guess what? This looks familiar, huh? If you end up with a terminal illness, 12 to 24 months to live, you can have access to your money. It's like, use it, go ahead, pay something off. Leave it easier for your family. You got chronic. That means if 2 of the 6 daily activities cannot be used for 90 consecutive days, which is bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, continence, that means you're gonna get a paycheck every month to take care of those needs. And God forbid you end up with cancer, heart attack, stroke, etc. It comes with living benefits. That's the difference between us and some of our quote unquote, which I don't call them this, but I'll put in quote, competitors that do term. Their term does not have living benefits. Ask them. You'll see. Some of you probably have a term policy. Call them and ask them, hey, do I got living benefits with this? You'll see your answer. State Farm does not give living benefits. Allstate does not give living benefits. Progressive, none of those car dealerships give you living benefits. It would cost them too much money. We do it, and we do it for less. Just saying. Let's go. All right, stuck. There we go. Here we go. I told you I would tell you what an EFA. Each and every one of you gets this today. EFA. How do you determine what you need? We're going to tell you how you determine. All of you gets to sit down with us, right, and get a free GPS for your financials. Forget reading the slide. It's a GPS for your financials. You're going to sit with us. We're going to see where you're at. We're going to talk to you about your goals, meaning where you want to go by a certain age. And we're going to hit start, and we're going to show you how to get there with avoiding any speed traps, avoiding any and every delay, meaning losing money, telling you which way is the shortest way to go. We're going to give you your financial GPS, and we're doing this at no cost. Look it up. You'll see it can go anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to sit with a CPA to go through your financials and then tell you what you can do to impress them, to make them better, I mean. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. I do a lot of research before I speak. That is one of the methods we help you. Another method, which is the quick method, is called Life. What does that mean? I got to fix that misprint. I'm sorry. How much? How much is enough? I got to fix that typo. It's okay. Basically, how you figure out what's enough is you take your liabilities, which is what you have as mortgage, credit card debt, etc. How much money do you make? Multiply that by 10, because that's what you need to replace your income. How much do you have for final expenses? And then how much for each child are you paying in education? When you total that up, in this example is $1 million, this person would need $1 million in coverage to maintain their life. We can help you and show you how to do that. See, some people saw the other slide and they saw annuities are just as good as Alert Plan, more or less. They're very similar, not exactly the same. I want you to understand this slide. Annuities is not a replacement for life insurance. Annuities are created to create a stream of income for life. Now, you can do that with Alert Plan as well if properly funded. Both of these have that in common, but this is not a replacement. Neither one replaces the other. If you ask me, you need both. So annuities, here the uses for annuities. What do you use annuities for? To accumulate wealth. It's also part of the wealth transfer system that we talk about. Manage your income, and it provides an additional stream of income at your retirement. If you have the proper annuity and you have your 401k and you have this and you have that, guess what? You will award yourself with the opportunity of choice whether you want to retire or not. I'll tell you now, I know I'm going to work for the rest of my life because I love what I do. But the best part about it is I'll have a choice whether I want to work or not. And so will every other agent that we work with. Because we use these methods and these strategies to make sure we put ourselves in position. And this is exactly what we'll be able to do with you using the life and our EFA methods. Ladies, I want to thank you for your time and attention. Now, I did promise some giveaways, but in order to get part of that giveaway, you need to actually take your phones, scan that little QR code, and I'll put your name on the wheel and we'll spin it live right now. I'm also going to be open to taking questions. Let me go back to that slide. I'm sorry, because some of you need it. In order to qualify to be picked to win the 100, or this is what you're going to fill out. It's going to look like this. I would need you to actually click that QR code. Let's go back for a second. Fill out those questions. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if it'll go back here. Somebody just came back in. Let me get that. Let me go to the last slide here so we can get there and you guys can get the QR code. Please scan that QR code. It's going to bring you to a form. I'm going to be able to check the form here that you filled it out. And in the meantime, we'll be taking questions. If any of you have a question regarding anything you saw today, please feel free to ask it now. That way myself or some of the agents that are here can help me answer your questions. Any brave souls? We're here to help. I'm just gonna go to the slide right now so I can see who fills out the QR code because I feel generous and I can give out some money today. All right, let's see who fills them out. Let's see. Any questions? We got some guests here. Guys, please feel free to ask any questions. That way myself or one of the agents can answer them and help you with any questions you may have. Anyone? Anyone? Forrest? Anyone? Look, I know I'm that good, but I wasn't that good. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Anybody? Is anybody there? I feel like I'm alone. Anyone? Going once? Going twice? Oh, somebody unmuted. Is there Jessica Thomas here? Is there Jessica Thomas here?
Yes, she was here, Leo.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Where are you? Say that. Oh, there you go, Jessica Thomas. Okay, Jessica, if you don't mind me asking, who invited you, dear? You can unmute yourself. You're muted, love. Who invited you?
I did. I invited her.
Well, that's great. Jessica Thomas seems to be the only person that can follow directions as far as filling out a form. I'm not sure yet. So I think I'm not, I don't even need to spin the wheel for that. Let me see. Is there anybody else? Let me refresh. I got Jessica Thomas so far. Let me see. It's refreshing on my end. Any questions? Do you guys have any questions before I go into the wheel? All right, let me set up the wheel here. So we have,
You so steady playing that, huh?
Someone said they're in the gym, cannot fill out the form.
okay, I'm just waiting for the names. It's quite all right. Just wait, because I'll wait another minute or
Close your
so. If
mouth.
not,
Chew
I'll
with
just
your mouth closed, go.
spin the
You
wheel
good?
anonymously done. I just like to do it in front of people so they know who the winners are. And once I have the form, thank you for reading that though. No questions. Okay, I was really good. All right, so we have, let's see.
Yeah, this is our launch party, but yeah, for our team, because we did over 100K.
You're not muted. CT, you're not muted.
Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, it's okay. It's only Jessica that filled it out.
Andrea
So I'm gonna
Martinez
wait another
writing
minute.
something too. Andrea Martinez write something too in the chat.
All right. Let me I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see the chat. Let's see what's going on. Somebody could read off the question to me if there's a question, because I have a lot of screens open.
Andrea said she's not able to fill it out at the moment.
Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll leave the form. Those of you that have guests here, please write down your guest names. Okay? Write down your guest names. You'll send them the QR code. Today at midnight, I'm going to draw. You know what? Let me see how I do this so it's fair. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll do it tomorrow live on Facebook. My Facebook Live. My name is Leonardo Garcia. If you don't, you can look me up, Leonardo Garcia. I'll stop sharing. On my screen, let me see if I can fix this to see how you guys can see me. I could pin myself to speaker. Okay, here we go. There's a QR code there as well, but you can look me up on Facebook. I'm gonna, whoever's form by tomorrow.
Leo.
Yes, sir.
They're having issues scanning the code. That's what I'm getting messages back.
Okay, I'm telling you exactly what to do. Everybody who has a guest, send them the link personally, which you guys should have, so that way they can. Now, what I'll do is I'll go to the presentation real quick. I can easily scan it and put the link there, and I'll put it in. Let's see, there you go. Boom, it opens as a tiny URL. Here it is. Let me copy it. Guys, I'm putting on the Telegram. It's going to be under announcements. All right, send that link to them. Send that link to them. And tomorrow, around 3 o'clock, I will do it live with the winners. And I will pick the winners. You can see the replay. You can see it live around 3 o'clock. I'll either do it or I have Takira do it on her conversation with TT. And we'll see who the winners are. And then we will make sure that during our EFA, that's when you'll receive your Cash App or your Zelle. Those are the only two ways I can give it. Zelle or Cash App. It will be coming from my account to yours. Any questions? Going once. I know some people said they're working out. Let me see what there's anything in the chat. Let's see. Okay, on the Jim Collins. So there are no questions here, no comments, no concerns.